guys, welcome back to my channel. I have another Confessions of a Paper Addict Cutfiles design team layout for you. I've got the brand new freebie for this month, so make sure you go check out the Facebook group so you can snatch it before it goes to the shop. But it's a fun stars frame. There's just tons of stars in a giant circle. I've left it on my mat because I think I'm going to do some ink blending. I have no idea what photos I want to use yet. Haven't quite decided. Not sure what paper I want to use it, but I just wanted to play with some inks. I have some photos in mind, but I'm not sure if they're going to work. My thought was, though, to put the photos actually in the stars, so I kind of want to do that. So we'll see if that is what ends up happening, but I thought we'd do some fun ink blending. So let's go pick out some inks and we'll get started. So it's kind of interesting when you have photos in mind, but you didn't take the cut file off the backing, so you're not sure if anything's gonna fit, and you just wing it. Sometimes that's just how you feel. So I'm gonna go ahead and ink blend like I'm gonna use the photos that I have in mind. So what I start out with is in the very center, I have squeezed lemonade, and I add a little bit of twisted citron in there, and then I'm doing squeezed lemonade all around the outside. And guys, I think my squeezed lemonade is drying up. I don't use it enough. I don't use yellow enough, apparently, and I don't use this one enough, or it might be I've used it enough too that it just, which is crazy. So I'm going to use twisted citron, squeezed lemonade, and then peacock feathers and prize ribbon. And I'm just doing it in circles because once you get the cut file off, you're not going to tell that it's like bullseye shaped where the blending is. You're not gonna, but I just make sure I go back and forth kind of over. So like after I just did the peacock feathers there, I'm going back in with twisted citron to go in between the squeezed lemonade and the twisted citron just to get that blending a little bit better. And it actually took quite a while. I wanted to make sure the actual stars were blended really well, and I wanted to make sure the outline was blended really well. So I couldn't just cheat and only focus on the outline because I plan on using those stars, and I end up using some of them in the layout, but I plan on using the other ones on another layout. I'm not sure when, but they'll obviously be in this color. And then after I do the prize ribbon, then I take some peacock feathers and kind of blend over just to kind of even it out. You just got to make sure you go back and blend between kind of back and forth. And I do make sure I do some twisted citron on the outside between the prize ribbon and the squeezed lemonade. But I really like the way that looks. And then I'm going to go ahead and splatter some of this Lindy's Gold Bloom. I think that's the one I got out. Can't really tell at the moment. I'm going to splatter that everywhere, like everywhere I can, because I want it to show up on the cut file outline and on the inner pieces. So, and I think I did a pretty good job. There's maybe a couple areas where it's barely on there, but it's on there. So I'm going to do that. And I don't think, ta-da! And the inner stars just are so pretty. They're so pretty. So I'm going to start backing. So here's the photos I had thought about using. So I had already done one layout and journaled about this preschool play my son did. He was a green bean or a pea pod and they made the cutest hats and he was adorable. And this was kind of like the first like little school play that he actually participated in. Otherwise he just sat there silent doing nothing. So this was kind of the first one he participated in. So I really wanted to use these photos and put as many of them behind the stars as I could. So I backed a bunch of them off camera, and here I'm showing you all I'm doing is making sure that what I want in the star fits. And then I'm putting glue on the cut file and then laying it down, and then I let it set for a little bit, and then I cut around it just like you would with paper. But it's a little more finicky. I always make sure it's going to fit like subject wise where I want it to make sure I get what I want in the star. Because you're going to have people in there. So you want to make sure you're not cutting off faces or cutting off heads. So obviously my son was the main objective. So some of the other kids, their faces are partially cut, but it's not a big deal. And then I put a couple of since the photos weren't all completely like cut off, there were tiny stars too, so I could fit in some just faces. So it's just like a bunch of pictures of a bunch of his classmates. And I wanted to include some of them because they're still classmates and it's super cute. And I figure down the road, we're going to want to see what they all look like in preschool together during this play. I know everyone else is going to have things, but I think I'm the only scrapbooking mom, so I wanted to make sure to have that. So now I'm trying to figure out background. So I decided to grab my How to Kill a Kit with Style and see if I could play with something, a background from there. And it's too busy. Too busy. I don't like it. I end up just going with plain black cardstock and then zhuzhing it up a little bit. But I do play a little bit with my How to Kill a Kit with Style, and bring in some sequins that I have and some stickers just to use some of those things up. And then I grabbed some thickers that I not too long ago got on clearance at Joann's that I figured I might as well use, that are a lot stickier than normal thickers are, you guys. They actually stick. So I was like, black, yes, that works. And so I'm grabbing some of the smaller stars and I'm putting them on the insides of the empty stars, and I'm really liking that. I don't want them to fill, and I'm okay if the color blending is not the same, if it doesn't match. I just want them in there. So I end up just using the smaller ones. I set the big ones aside for a different layout, and then I'll end up having 2 stars that have nothing. But one, my plan is to kind of tuck the title down on the bottom there, where there's 3 stars that don't have a photo in it. And so the one is definitely going to have a title on it. I'm thinking at this point, I'm thinking of the title that I think I want. Oh yeah, I just glued the whole cut file down, so I didn't make you watch me do that because it was kind of painful. My glue keeps clogging. It's just there's barely anything left, so it keeps clogging. Oh no, actually what I'm doing is, I forgot I was doing this. I decided to give, zhuzh up the background. I already mentioned that. I decided to give the background a little bit, just a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of something. So I just spritzed it with the Lindy's, the other Lindy's spray I have, Moonshadow Mist, that's in, I don't remember what that one's called, but it's like greens and blues and blacks and gold shimmer. So I just wanted something, and then I'm just going to take my glossy acrylic white Dina Wakley spray and splatter that as well, just like I said, to zhuzh up the background. And then I will glue my cut file down when that's dry. And then I'll get all the stars kind of placed. I'm going to pop some of them up on foam. I'm going to use a bunch of phrase stickers, like I said, from my How to Kill a Kit with Style. So those phrase stickers are mostly from a sticker sheet that is 5th in Monaco, pink paisley. And there's things in there like best friends, laughter, believe, dream, bright, of course, true, amazing, follow your heart. Those are the things. So I just kind of put them around, scattered them around, and then I grab my thickers that I want to use that I recently got from Joann's at clearance, like I said, and I like the Shine On. And I thought I had another one that just said Shine, but I did, and it was in wood grain, and that wasn't quite what I wanted. But the Shine On is perfect. Gold sparkly. I have gold splatters like everywhere, and hints of gold everywhere. So I decided to start putting that down there, and it sticks. They ripped too when I tried to get them off the backing, but I end up squishing them back together on the paper, and it works. And so I just start gluing down those stars, and then I'll glue down the rest of them, and like I said, pop a bunch of them up on foam, some of the words on foam, just kind of scattering them around. And then I wanted to add some sequins. So I have these, they're from Pink Paisley 5th in Monaco sequins. It's a little, were there pink ones at one time? I think I used all the pink ones. All I have left is white and green. And then there's these gold starburst kind of ones. I have a bunch of those. But I use the pink one, or I've used the pink ones, so I'm just going to use the green ones. I'm going to kind of put them everywhere. And then I decide I need something around the edges. So I grabbed my mirrored gold paper that I have. It's just a Joann's brand, a little 6x6 pad, which I'm almost done with this little 6x6 pad. I'm doing good. And I will just actually add a gold to each corner of the layout, just to give it almost like a photo corner, but more bold, just to kind of frame in the outside of the layout. And I really like that. So I'm going to do that and add the sequins, and then you'll have some close-ups, and I can't wait to see what all of you do with the freebie. So make sure you're posting in the Facebook group because we want to see it. And make sure you go check out, if you want any of the new releases, make sure you go to the shop and get them. And I cannot wait actually to play with the innards, the other stars, the inside stars, the bigger ones that I set aside to use for another layout. I think I'm even going to use the circle, the outline of the circle, on another layout too. So stay tuned for that. So So here's some close-ups. Thank you again so much for watching. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you go to that Facebook group of Confessions of a Paper Addict. Link below. Bye.